Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Alvaro. I'm a DJ and producer. Today we're here at Dancefair, and Image Line asked me to do a little project for you guys. So I had this melody earlier today, which I worked on, and I thought it would maybe be cool to like work on this song and show you guys how to do this kind of like Dutch EDM drop. And I'm gonna explain you guys how I'm working, what's my workflow, and how I start and which samples do I use. So yeah, let's just start out with this melody. For this melody I used Serum. I used the preset, but then I adjusted the preset with like all the effects and stuff and the matrix. So this is basically the lead, and this is the melody I made with it. All right, let's do this. First, I'm gonna add a kick drum. Let's see if we can find something cool for this. Maybe this one, just to get the feeling of the groove. I'm gonna disable loop points and I'm gonna change this to none. Some samples do include like looping points, but you don't always want to use them, so you can just turn them off here. This kick drum is a little bit too heavy. I think I can use this kick drum. Okay, so we got the kick drum. I'm gonna put this in a new channel. So I have the kick drum. It's always good to have the kick drum separated from all the other percussions, or if you want to do stems later on, or stuff like that. It's really important. Just split everything up. Okay, so this is the melody. I think this should be the right key for the drop, so I'm gonna put him here. Then I'm gonna put a copy of that and make it unique. This way I can pitch down with command and then lower arrow. I don't know exactly how you say that, but just we're gonna put an octave lower. And this is what you get then. So this would be cool to have as like a starting sound, like maybe like filter it in or something like that. So we have this like explosive drop over here. I'm gonna move the kick drum for now. So yeah, basically this is still pretty rough. What I'm gonna do now, actually I'm gonna clone the VST because I don't want to have the same effects on all the sounds together. I want to have the lower sound should be a different effects than the new one. So let's copy this over to the new one. I'm gonna add it to a new channel. That's channel 1 now. And I'm gonna add a reverb to it. And let me think, which one should I do? Probably going for the flower room. Yeah, so the whole idea is to like have it like really big at the beginning, and then just like remove all the reverb at the build up, and then make it drop without the reverb. I'm gonna add like a filter too. Which one I always use is the Fruity Love filter. And there's this preset called Simple Low Pass. Just turn down the res, because it makes it a little bit harsh. And I put it open, because there's like no filter on it right now. So I can create the automation clip for it. I'll put a marker here at the drop. Make the filter start over here. So I have this kind of like build up thingy. And then we're gonna add the reverb to it. Is on 1. Yeah, so there's 2 ways to do this. You can either like make an automation clip for the mix, or you can use the main volume knob, or like the dry and wet knob actually. I'm gonna do this one now. So I'm gonna turn it down, go to tools, less tweaked, and then create automation clip. So this automation clip is like linked to the mix of the reverb. And we're gonna start off with a lot of reverb and then go down a little bit. Yeah, so we have this filtered sound coming in. Something like that. Of course, I need to adjust the reverb a little bit here because it's going, yeah, like this. Maybe I'm just gonna add this part to it. Something like that, I think. I can even like try to make it like this so the reverb like builds up again. Something like that, maybe close the reverb over here. Yeah, something like this. Like in general, it's like all like trial and error to find out the right stuff. Let's see, this one is an F. Gonna try to add a bass. Then we go to some 808s, and then we have an F over here, which I'm gonna loop with Edison. So if you want to loop an 808, what you want to try to do is to find the right loop to it. So it's basically the waveform you want to loop needs to start and end at exact the same spot. So I'm gonna start here. This is pretty difficult. It's kind of time consuming. I hope maybe there's a better way to do this, but I didn't find one yet, so I have to do it this way. Then we're gonna end at the same spot. Zoom in. You have to find the exact middle, which is sometimes pretty hard to see. I think this one should be good. So what we've done here is like creating this loop. I'm gonna drag it into maybe on top. Gonna change this. Let's see if it works. Sounds pretty good to me. So that's basically how I always like loop my 808s to, because this, for example, this one is like is fading out and it has some clicks in it. So I don't want to have that in my song, so I just loop it straight at the beginning. Let me just put this here. I'm gonna do it like this. So I extend everything, and because it's a loop, it doesn't play. It stops at when the note stops. So that's an easier way to do it. But then you need to use loop points. Let's see how this sounds. Right, sounds pretty good to me. Like some people like sidechain the bass. I sometimes do it, but not always. It really depends on how the song sounds. So for now, what you can do to make it a little bit cooler is to like glide some of the notes. For example, the middle here. Just gonna put a little slide. So you get a little something that sounds a little bit different instead of the 808 the same key the whole time. Ooh. good to me. Now I'm gonna add some snares for the drop because I don't want a straight kick for the drop the whole time. We have a cool snare. I think this one sounds cool. Let's make it Dutch with the bobbling snares. That's how we call it. It's almost like a reggaeton snares on a faster BPM. Right. Oh, keep misclicking this. And then what you can do for the snares to make it sound more interesting, like what I always do is just to add some like rolls to it. So for example, for this part, we can add like a little snare roll. Maybe like this, maybe not too much, and then we can just put like something in between this. Not sure if I have the right. Yeah, it should be good. Maybe even shorter. Something like that. And then we have this other cool sound, which we can use on the drop kick drum to make it sound a little bit more aggressive. There's this cool function in Edison, which can show you the key of the sound, which is E right now. So we need to go one step up. Yeah, so I'm gonna copy these kick drum notes. Actually, I started working in the same pattern as the kick drum, but I'm gonna change that later on. I'm gonna put the kick drum separated from the drums. Actually, every sound, but this is what I love from FL Studio is the way you can have this one pattern with all the information, and then later on remove or like put stuff somewhere else or like mute it, you know. But it's a really cool workflow to just try out your creativity. So this should be good. It's pretty short. I'm gonna add the little reverb to it with the Valhalla Room. Something like this. I'm gonna change the kick drum or the 808. I'm gonna probably remove it at the end. All right, let's add some effects to it. Maybe like a snare build up or something. I'll just use this little preset, which is 150 BPM. I'm gonna auto detect it. Put on my BPM. Put this one on stretch. You can do stretch or you can do auto. The quality is a little bit different, but with stretch you can easily change the project BPM later on. With auto it takes a little bit longer for every stem to redetect the tempo. Yeah, boy. We're getting somewhere. Nice. Let's maybe add this at the beginning. Yes. There's some cool fills over here which we maybe can use. What's the BPM? 108. I'm gonna put that information in there too. 108. Put it on stretch. And let's see how this sounds. It's not exactly how I want it. But then what I always do with fills is just to cut it up and try to like make your own, give your own rhythm to it. Because this is really easy to do with this stuff. So for example, I want this one here. Maybe I even want to put it like this. Maybe something like this. It doesn't really matter. Like you can be creative and you can do whatever you want. There's not really like rules or anything. Probably let's just add this one. This one is 168 BPM. 168 BPM. Put it on auto or stretch. Doesn't really matter what you do. Let's see if we can fit this somewhere. Maybe remove this part because it doesn't really sound that good. Maybe like doesn't really matter what you do. Then we're gonna switch this one to the middle, like this. Yeah, this is a little bit more energetic, which is cool. Let's see what else can we do. Build up drums. Always good to use stuff like this. Like that's really important to add a lot of elements to your song to make it sound really busy. Not too busy, of course, but on a good way. Let me just put this one over here. And what we can do over here is to bring back the lower melody. Or now even better maybe. I don't know how it sounds, but just trial and error. I'm gonna make this unique and then put the melody 1 octave higher. Exactly. And then at this tempo, like 126, you can basically do everything with it. You can make it trap, you can make it moombahton. It's whatever you want. So what I normally do is like use this pattern. I'm gonna insert one here and then try something with the drums. I'm gonna remove the drums over here. Maybe something like this. So this could be like a cool little break to make it sound a little bit more special. Actually, I want to use the reverb for this little ending part, which I'm gonna do now. Basically, this is the same reverb I've been using the whole track. Which is not working. Yeah, I have to do it a little bit longer. Let's see. I know. It's on a different FX channel. I'm just gonna put this one back. Yeah, exactly. Maybe add a little reverb there too, so it doesn't. So it makes it a little bit more interesting. So the effect I'm looking for is to like the kind of like way it sucks up the reverb and then mutes the whole reverb again, so you get ready for the next impact. Then maybe we can put the lower one over here. I'm gonna do the same thing with the reverb. Actually, I don't want to draw it every time, so I'm just gonna cut this part and then just copy it, because you don't want to put too much time in that yet. Like eventually you want to work this part out, make it sound better, but for now this should be good. You can even like put a noise impact over here. Audio clips. Yeah, so this is like all the effect stuff. This is how I normally do it. Like I create my melody to the drums and then start putting in some effects so I get the whole idea of the song. And then later on I start to like work on smaller parts. So for now we're gonna add some little effects. Just this, like some random effects to make it a little bit more warm. Some police sounds. And we can add some snares over here because it's kind of boring. I can use the stomp to give the tempo to the song. I'm gonna EQ this a little bit so it doesn't really sound that harsh. So now it's more like a stomp. So there you have it, your own like EDM song. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something from the way I work. Of course, there's a lot of more interesting stuff you can do with this, and more ideas you can put into it. But this is just a basic idea of like how I start my club songs. So thank you for watching, and see you next time. Peace.